Okay, y'all, what's up? Here we are. All right. All right, what's going on, y'all? Just get this thing situated. Just jumping on here for another live. I mean, we ain't got any fights this weekend, but there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, as far as WMMA goes. And I'm going to just be looking at the chat as well, to kind of chime in. But what's going on, y'all? Let's see. Sync, what's up? Zaman. Yam said, I guess he said, what's up? He said, hope you all are well. Hope you're well. Uh-oh, Marcus Bell in the building. Easy E and 6. High Five said, good morning. Good morning out there. Good evening out here. Oh, Game Bread. Yeah. Game Bread is on, right? MMA Bare Knuckle. He says, crazy. Yeah, I might pull it up. I really wasn't like anticipating it. And it wasn't gonna stop me from doing a live. Like if it was a real card, I'd be calling it. But let me see if I can pull it up in the background just to look. Yeah, maybe said I don't know what went on in Rose's fight. Where was her beautiful footwork and feints? It's as if she was uncomfortable in there. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. It could just be the weight too, man, because it takes time sometimes. Like it takes time to fill out in a division. I mean, naturally Rose is a smaller fighter, right? She could eventually get to that point and be a full-fledged flyweight, but when you take it on somebody that is just as good, but they're bigger, that fighter that's bigger and skilled is going to win. You gotta grow into the division. I mean, if she had like taken her time, maybe fought her way up, maybe a couple of fights, then yeah. But when you jump straight into this division and you take it on like number one or number two, and you're just not naturally that big anyway, I don't think you're gonna win. I think that's how it works. I mean, we could say it's the finger too, but I mean, really, I I think you'll come up with a way to win. You should be coming up with another way to win if the finger's dislocated. I think adjustments could have been made, yeah, if she's naturally bigger, but I still think size plays an advantage. Like it still plays a big factor, but no one had that advantage. And that's just what it is for me. 6 said Rose just had a little ring rust. We'll be back at 125. If she continues to take on the best at 125, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, she could go back to 115 and get her belt back, right? But 125, I don't see her beating the best and the most dangerous fighters in the top 5. Because almost says some dude in random comments really told me that if Aaron couldn't take Tyler down, she won't be able to take Shevchenko down. I know that's two different fighters, two different fight styles, just two different fights, man. You can't really judge it off of that. I mean, if she couldn't take Tyler down, she could take Shevchenko down. I mean, there's two different fighters. And maybe her approach was not to take Tyler down after a while. Maybe it was just to win the fight against the cage, Let me see. Rose just gotta put on a bit more size. Yeah, she got to grow into the division. She got to grow into the division, man. She got to grow into it. I mean, Alexa Grasso did it. I think she's got to grow into it. But I mean, if her next opponent is Tyler or Aaron, I don't see her winning, honestly. I think those girls are just going to be too strong for her. But that was one of the things I was telling y'all too, 6. You was like, oh man, she going to be quick. But you got to think about it. I kept thinking, I was like, you know what, Manon might have a rough weight cut in y'all's eyes, but she's used to making this weight. And even if she even if she blows up, she's still going to be faster because she's already adjusted to this weight, right? She's already adjusted to this weight. Whereas Rose, she's coming up smaller, but she still got some extra weight that she's not used to moving around with. Zama said finger displacement is a huge factor. Other deal is Pat Barry couldn't even try to listen, put it in place. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like huge because you seen jaw displacement and dudes still be fighting, you know. I seen hand displacement, dudes' hands be messed up and they still find a way to win, especially in boxing. You know, hands are your keys to winning in boxing, but dudes still be finding ways to win, you know. And in that too, you know, not having a corner telling you to, all right, let's see if we can pop it back into place. If not, let's go to the next plan. You know, if we can't use our hands, we're gonna use this, you know. But even then, that there shows you a big even there that shows you the size advantage too. Like if the hand was hurt, why couldn't they go to takedowns? Because she is smaller, you know. So it's not anything to get bent out of shape about. It's your first fight at 125, so you're naturally going to be smaller, and you're naturally going to be a little weaker than a bigger girl in the division, right? Zama said Grasso's naturally more buff. Yeah, she's buffer than Rose, but even her, she had to grow into the division. Because, you know, even when she fought physical girls like Suarez, she couldn't handle it, you know? So, yeah, she's naturally bigger, I think, buffer than Rose. But even her, she had to get acclimated to the division. You know, I definitely wouldn't have said she would have got to the top without climbing her way up. Yam said Rose wasn't as bad as people are saying. I thought she fought well, but fought different. And fair play to her, but she did lose fairly. But hopefully she will use this loss as fuel to grow. Yeah, it was like my pick said, you know, I thought it was going to be a competitive fight, which it was. Competitive because both are strikers. Like I said, I think Manon could have finished her, but her still being a striker, I think she just purely wanted to see if she could outstrike her again, which is not always the best idea. It would have been better if she would have went in and, you know, been more physical and got Rose out of there. But yeah, I think that she stayed in there. You know, she stayed in there the whole time. So yeah, I can't dub her like a quitter or anything like that. I think she kept it competitive. You know, I knew it would because she's still a 2-time champion, you know. Yeah. Six said Rose inactivity played a role as well. Oh, don't don't make them excuses, Six. Come on now. You ain't making that for Manon. See, Manon, she had inactivity, but we ain't making no excuses for her, right? Don't do that. And on top of that, she was injured, right? But you ain't hear nobody make no excuses for her. No, don't say that inactivity because it wasn't like she took a beating in the last couple fights. Because if anything, moving up, less of a rough weight cut, you get that time to get your body ready. You know what I mean? But we ain't gonna use inactivity, you know. We ain't gonna use inactivity as no excuse because no damage was done during that timeout. See, at least Manon, she had a ruptured ligament, but ain't nobody giving her no excuses. So we gonna just keep it straight up down the middle, man. Yam said, do you mind if I ask a question about weigh-ins, which confuses me and wondering if the chat would insight on it? No, sure. What's your question about the weigh-ins? I'll answer it, and I'm sure somebody else in the comment could answer it. High Five said cocky is lamos, and she suffered a bad loss. Lamos ain't cocky. Lamos is not cocky. Rose is a little bit more cocky, in my opinion. Like, yeah, she got a little subtle way of doing it, but I can read it. But yeah, Lamos don't come off as cocky, man. I think Lamos is a humble, hard worker. She working just hard as Whaley. I mean, it's just she just couldn't get the victory, but she's working hard too. You know, Amanda Lemos is she's a good fighter. She's a good humble fighter, I believe. If I said Lemos was cocky in her face with Whaley at the face off, nah, man. Like Lemos was cocky, nah. Everybody's supposed to be tough at the weigh-in. How you gonna look? You gonna look scared? She ain't never said anything bad about Whaley. Easy said, I'm like the only Rose fan to admit I was wrong. Yeah, you are, man. Shout out to Easy. He's the only one admitted. He kept throwing it in my face, and I said, nah, bro. I ain't jumping off the train. You stay on your train. Your train crashed. I was like, I'm gonna ride this Minone train because this is her division. I'm gonna ride Amtrak. You take what is it? Penn Station? You take Penn Station, I'll take Amtrak. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, man said, why are there weight cuts, which causes fighters to be more prone to being knocked out and injured the day before the fight? Why not have fights as a natural weight with no weight cut? I've always said that too, man. I'm gonna pull up this list of damage it does too, because I'm gonna pull up this. Let me see if I can find this list because I don't understand myself like why. It would be better if fighters could just like fight around their weight, but the weight cut right before it does a lot of damage, man. Not just kidneys, I always think of, but yeah, brain too, brain recovery. It should be more like fighters fighting closer to their weight, like fighters that walk around at 170 should be fighting at like 155 instead of cutting down to 130, like these women walk around 170, like Amanda Nunes cutting down like 135. But here's one of the best explanations. They always say fighters cut weight to fit inside their weight division. Hold on. I think it's dangerous though, because they always say like the thing about it is to make sure that it's on the level, like two fighters are going to be competitive, that it's on the line. So you try to get them both to cut down to that weight at like 135 to make sure that it'll be competitive on the line, I guess. So, but to me, I still think it's pretty dangerous. Yeah, because say if you have fighter A and fighter B, they fighter A and fighter B. That's the best way I can put it. Well, like in this case, but it just didn't work out for Minone and Rose. Like one's bigger, the other's a little smaller. But if you have them cut down to 125, no matter what their walking around weight is, when they can make that weight, yeah, it makes it more competitive and it makes it fair. It makes it fair, but the bigger fighter is going to rehydrate, and they're going to make sure that they rehydrate. But on top of that, when you're trying your hardest to shed that weight, you're doing a lot of damage to your body. I was looking at Amanda Lemos, and her weight cut looked kind of rough. Not making an excuse for her either, but I'm just saying, like, you just see what these fighters go through with weight cuts, trying to shed that last 5-6 pounds when there's no more water weight to shed. It's like, what do we do from here? Six said is Minone the next big thing in flyweight division after that performance. Well, she's winning. She's winning. I mean, if you're talking about like star, I can't really say star because there really no stars like that in WMMA. But like, she is the next person that's going to challenge for the belt next to Aaron. Yeah, I mean, I've said thanks, Kamo, because I never understood this because it's dangerous enough as it is. I look at boxing too. Yeah, it causes like serious like issues with the brain too. And like Devin Haney cutting down to 135, he looks terrible. Like when he cuts down, like before he fought Lomachenko and that last fight when he fought Kambosos, he looked bad. As I said, Manon won't beat Shev. I doubt she beats Grasso too. Aaron in 5 rounds also. Let's see. Let's see. High five said hopefully Rose Chikagan next because Chikagan did call her out before too. I remember Chikagan called out Grasso too. I could see, really honestly, I could see anybody winning the belt at this point. I think the hardest part for me to see is anybody defending the belt more than once, just because, you know, the division is changing, you know. I think everybody's capable of winning the belt at this point. Like I could see Manon winning it. I could see Aaron getting in there and getting the belt. I think it just comes down to a factor of keeping the belt. I think that's the hardest part because now, you know, the girls are coming in more so well-rounded and styles are going to clash at some point where somebody meets somebody that's more so tailor-made for them. You know, Claw said Chikagan and Murphy are pretty quiet. Yeah, Caitlin Chikagan is actually like when her year anniversary of her wedding or something like that, you know, she's out of town. Like she's been traveling. So I guess she's taking some time off, you know. As far as Lauren Murphy, I've seen her training again. I don't think they have any lined up for her, but yeah, Chikagan, she's been taking a rest. If a female fighter is 9 stone naturally and healthy, why not just get that 9 stone healthy fighter to fight another 9 stone healthy fighter with no serious weight cuts? Yeah, I can see that. What is I can look it up. Hold on. I know you're in the UK. Yeah, okay. 9 stone is what, 125? Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. High five said Rose wasn't walking her down. Manon was a bit timid in round 3 because the blood kept filling her eyes. I don't really think the blood was in her eyes. I think she was just losing a lot of blood, though. She was afraid the cut getting bigger and the fight might be stopped. Anyway, she won 2 rounds. Yeah, she did win 2 rounds. Oh, no, that's cool. Yeah, man. I've been hearing that in boxing for a long time. Like, I believe 12 stone. I always relate it to boxing because 12 stone is 168. Like I remember hearing Joe Calzaghe, the boxer, was like, I'm the best fighter at 12 stone. And I was like, what does 12 stone mean? I was like, I don't even know what that means. But then I looked it up. I was like, okay, 12 stone basically is 168 pounds. So I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind adjusting to. I like to learn new things like that. So it's all good. 6 said, did she say that? Were you assuming that? What were y'all talking about? Oh, what she said. Okay. It depends on who's holding the belt. Often it would change hands. Yeah, I think the belt is going to change hands right now. I feel the same way with strawweight. Like, I think, well, mainly with flyweight, though. I think the times have changed. Like when Joanna and Valentina were dominating, I think when they were running through the divisions, like a lot of the girls were specialists or they just had like 1 or 2 particular things to go to. But now a lot of these girls at the top, I think they, you know, they're going to meet somebody that somebody can like cancel out whatever it is they do. You know, there's a point where you'll see that. So I think the days of having like a dominant champion, unless one of them goes to like a less than competitive division, and fine, you know, I think they won't be dominant, but they can be dominant. But right now, like when you're in a hot division like this, I don't really see anybody going on no 4 or 5 title defense run. Oh, yeah, I said, yeah, that was a lot of blood. I was wondering if they could stop the fight because it came straight from the head clash. Yeah, I think at that point, when the doctor seen it, it wasn't in like a compromised place. Like if it would have been like on her forehead or like above the eyebrow, I think, yeah, they probably would have stopped the fight. But since it wasn't like, stopping her or impairing her vision, and she still looked game and ready to go, they'll let it go on. Yag said, think anyone can take Weili. Her strength in Lamo's fight was unreal. Man, I'm trying to understand. Like, I've been getting some comments. People been saying like Lamos was actually winning that or being competitive in that fight. I'm like, huh? I picked Lamos, and I'm like, what are y'all talking about? I'm like, what you talking about, man? I mean, I ain't even gonna mention the dude's name. I don't even know who he is, but it's just like, it's probably the same person that hate Whaley. He got like 15, 16 accounts, and he just be coming up with different Whaley propaganda. This dude be coming up with Whaley propaganda all day. He be like, oh, see this, see that. I'm like, yo, man, like, I don't consider myself a hardcore fan, but yo, you gotta give props where props is due, man. This dude talking about Lamos kept the fight competitive. There's a difference between competitive and being in a fight and just lasting. You know what I mean? Like, that's where people hand out like moral victories for just being in a fight. Like, I don't really believe in moral victories, but somebody can just stay in a fight and take the beating, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean you're competitive. That just means you're resilient. Your heart's keeping you alive in there, right? Your chin is good. But yeah, I've been getting those comments lately. Like, somebody actually thought Whaley was losing the fight or being, scared of Lamos's power. I thought Whaley adjusted fine and won 50-40, 50-45, or maybe lost one round. If you want to give a round 4, I don't know. Half I said, when I compare Tatiana versus Carla versus Whaley versus Carla, the fights will be very competitive. I see Whaley caught her on the feet just like Lamos, but Tatiana might holding Whaley on the ground. Sink said Whaley losing the fight is crazy. Losing the fight and being competitive. I mean, Lamos, again, I picked her to win, but I did not see her being competitive at all in the fight. I saw her staying in the fight, but never at a point did she have Whaley in trouble, or never at a point was she in full control of the fight, or never was it back and forth. Robot Chick said, good, here you doing well. Appreciate that. Yum said, is Valentina and Zhang Weili, if Zhang Weili and Valentina had a stand-up striking match with no grappling, no clinch, no groundwork, who do you think would win? I'm edging it towards Zhang in a pure stand-up striking match. That'd be interesting. At like 125, if it was 125, pure striking, I would still give the edge to Valentino on that one. I think Valentina's defense is better, and I think defense is a big key to winning a fight. Like, I don't know how Whaley's power would carry up to 125, but I think that it would be interesting. Just like pure striking, I think it would be an interesting fight. Easy said Lamos caught Whaley clean twice and she didn't budge. I know she was done. Right, yeah, she caught her a couple of times. Yeah, I remember catching with right hand and nothing happened. So I was like, yeah, she landed some shots, but she's not doing any damage, Yeah, big. Yeah, it was a big one. Yeah, it was a big striking difference. Yeah, Suarez, her weight cuts are pretty rough. They're pretty rough. I think that 125 might be suiting her at some point, especially when you get up in age. So yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, I just kind of got on here to talk about moving up and moving down. Like, with all these fighters kind of shifting in weight, and wanting to move up and move down. I'm just kind of seeing where they fit in. Like starting with Rose. I kind of start with Rose. I think Rose has the potential to fit in at flyweight, but the question is, does she want to put in that work again? Does she want to start not at the bottom, but does she want to start a little bit lower and take a couple of fights? Because in my opinion, I don't really get that vibe that she wants to start even at a halfway point, because she jumped right into it, a number 2 fight. And I know she says because Manon called her out, but if it was me and I'm moving up and I'm not really sure if I can move up yet, or if I'm strong enough to handle the bigger fighters, I would say, let me get a fight or two to feel it out. Let me get a lower fight, or let me get a Lauren Murphy or Jennifer Maya, kind of test out where my body is and how my skills can come into play at 125 first. But jumping right in kind of shows me that she wanted just a big challenge, and that's usually how she gets up to win fight. That's how she gets up for fights. It has to be something that is truly meaningful. Like it has to always be like this big standout fight that scares her. Like she said, the fact of fighting somebody like Manon was kind of scary before. That's what she said, because she is a big fighter, right? So she actually acknowledged it. Rose actually acknowledged that she's a big fighter. So if Manon says she's smaller, I don't see why she would get mad, or why people would get mad, because you just said she's a big fighter and she's a big challenge, So I just think that for her, I think there could be potential if she wants to climb that ladder again. But for me, it would do her well. But for where she's at, it seems like she just wants to fight the bigger names, the bigger names. And I really don't think she'll make it if she just fights the big girls. Like if she's just fighting the good big fighters. Like if she continues to fight like an Aaron or a Tyler, or let's say if Grasso or Valentina lose, whoever the loser is of this fight, if she just fights them, she talking about a Manon rematch, she's not going to beat these fighters. And why? Because she's not getting accustomed to the weight. So I think that's going to be a problem with her. So I think it's more of a mind thing. Six said Whaley is a beast at 125. I don't think so. I haven't seen it yet. She's a beast at 125, but not 120. Not 125. The beast at 125. You know who the beast is? That's Manon, and that is Aaron. Whaley still got something to prove too when you go to 125, just like Rose do. Whaley's the beast at 115. But 125 is still a different story. You got to go in, you got to put it together. You got to what you're dealing with. And I think aside from the injury, I still think, Rose still would have lost the fight. I still think she would have lost the fight. Because size is still a factor that, she didn't do like something similar to like Grasso did. I keep bringing that up because I think for some of these slim frame girls, they got to grow into the division. But is there potential there? Only if she's humble enough to climb that ladder. High Five said Whaley is the real beast at 125. She ain't done nothing at 125, y'all. What y'all talking about, man? She ain't done nothing at 125 yet. You gonna get the props from me when you do it. That's the only way you're gonna get it. I ain't jumping out here saying, I ain't gonna jump out here and say Whaley no beast at 125 because she ain't fought at 125. You taking away from the real beast. You taking away from the cold-blooded girl, Aaron. Taking away from Grasso. Until you beat Grasso, which I still think Grasso has the skills and IQ to beat Whaley. Hey, Until you do that, you ain't the beast. 125 ain't no joke. I've been telling y'all that 125 is not a joke. Rose found that out. You got to climb up. Grasso did it the right way. Yeah, Easy said Grasso did move up right. I thought she was crazy moving up at first because she was small. Yeah, I didn't really think she was like crazy, but I thought that it was going to be a lot of work for Grasso. But when she showcased good striking skills in the first couple of fights, and she was able to handle even Macy Barber, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe we on to something, you know. And then even fighting Valentina, that's the one that proved me wrong and a lot of people wrong. You know what I mean? Like that proved everybody wrong. Like, okay, yeah, like she's full on ready. Like she is this next flyweight. She is the champ, you know. Six said in Asia she fought at 125. I know. Not here though. Not in the UFC. This is what everybody strive to be. Even Whaley will tell you the best fighters or supposedly in the UFC, and this is what you shoot for, right? I mean, she would be in the weight right now if she was the beast, right? She'd be she'd be a double champ by now if she was the beast. But it still takes its time. I don't see her beating some of these naturally bigger girls like that. She got to show something by being in the weight. Okay, yeah, she got to be in the weight first. Gabby said, you think Whaley's chances of becoming double champ? What do you think of Whaley's chances of becoming double champ if Grasso or Val is champ at the time and someone has that similar body frame? You think the chance? What do I think of her chances? I think I need to see a couple more fights of Whaley at strawweight before I say her chances are good. It's just I think fighters like Grasso and Valentina, their defense and footwork are real big keys to their victories, and to me, defense and footwork, man, if you master those two things, you can make the strongest, quickest, powerful fighter look like an amateur, So to me, I need to see Whaley like dominate two more fights at strawweight, and then she has to be a little bit bored, you know what I mean? Like just run through them girls and be like, okay, there's no test. Then I'll say her chances. I like her chances at 125. Like her defense has got to be tight. Her striking has got to be tighter. Her footwork's got to be tight. All of that. But right now, I don't really like her chances of just jumping up right now to fight Grasso or Valentina, because I think Valentina would win. I think Valentina would beat her right now if she moved to 125. And I think Grasso might do it too. I think Valentina would too. I mean, I think Alexa Grasso probably would too. As long as she doesn't get like real physical with Weili, if she's able to neutralize and strike and keep it on the outside, I think that, Grasso would still get the edge for now. But I just got to see Weili start to show that dominance that in a couple more fights that just says, hey, it's time to go. It's time to move up. So I just can't give her the beast moniker whenever you got the real beast right here, right now. Oh, yeah, yes, appreciate that. 2 pounds. He said, just wanted to say this channel is very underrated. I appreciate that, man. I just get on here and we just talk about the sport. Big fan of a lot of the fighters in the fight game. So, I just jump on and we discuss it. And, we ain't always got to agree. I disagree with a lot of people, but it's always fun to hear different opinions, you know. Yeah, Miams, let me ask you a question. Who's your favorite fighter right now? 20 pounds. Oh, thanks. It was supposed to be 20 pounds. Well, thanks for the thought of 20 pounds. See, I do know that form of I know that unit of measure for money. 20 pounds. Oh, James in the building. He said Minoan ain't no beast. Okay. Yeah, she's winning. Yeah, she's winning, right? She's won every single fight in the UFC so far. Sounds like one to me. I mean, here's y'all's problem. Like, it's like the Floyd Mayweather effect. When the knockout stop coming, y'all think that the fighters aren't as good. No, when the competition gets stiffer, the knockouts and the submissions stop coming because the competition is getting better. All right. So you can't always depend on power and one or two of your specialties anymore. You got to start thinking. You got to start trying to win because why? Because it's important to win. Because if you go in there and lose, what happens? People are going to say you were overrated. You lose your title shot. You lose stock. But as long as you winning, that's all that matter. Because you do the same thing. People do the same thing in boxing. Dudes be knocking people out, but the minute the competition gets stiff, you want to put a person down because they ain't knocking them out. Well, guess what? It's time to use your IQ. And if you haven't lost any rounds, that's a beast, James. You say winning is one thing, being a beast is another. No, to me, being a beast and not losing rounds, and your record is on point, and you undefeated, and nobody can even come close to beating you. To me, that's a beast. I mean, we all know who your favorite fighter is, Valentina. So you can't really. I take it easy on you, James. You special, man. Like you special because you only know Valentina. You don't really watch fights like that, you know. So I ain't gonna open the book and school you like that tonight. I ain't gonna take it there on you like that tonight. Closum said, "How do you think Dion Barbosa will go? How far do I think she'll go? You think she matches up well with Maverick? Um, well, for her first fight, I think they should give her somebody a little bit less experience. I don't like when they give somebody with like 8 fight experience that they just coming in. That's how they always mess things up. But I like her. I like what I've seen from her, and it's cool because there might be potential in her and Kareem Silva fighting again. You know, they've been bringing these girls in, and they might be matching her up again. So I'm like, oh, Kareem Silva might have a chance to get back again. You know, but I like what I've seen. I like what I've seen. Here you go, James. James always be talking crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. He said Manon lost around the rose and lost to Kagan. See, you didn't even hear what I said. See, that's why I can't talk to you tonight, James. Like, what you talking about? I said almost wins all the rounds in their fights. Lost 2 rounds out of their whole career in the UFC. Oops. And I didn't say she was winning every round. So you know, oh James, delusion ain't something over here. You are the delusional one. Yeah, James, boy. Ooh, you know what? Sometimes I like to entertain him. Sometimes because he's special. James is special, man. It's Friday, so I don't mind. And now he won't give her credit for winning. He still won't give her no credit for winning. See, and that's your problem again. See, I said it was going to be a competitive fight. Yeah. Easy. So I got to give UFC credit for getting better at recruiting for the female divisions. They've been doing better, but they BJ, what's going on? He said the craziness is in the building. uh, they've been doing better, but I think they signed some premature people. They signed some premature people too. Damn, what's her name? What is that girl's name they just signed? She was a champion and she just lost. Oh, the girl Luana Carolina beat. The girl Luana Carolina beat. No, BJ, you ain't never delusional. I mean, I disagree with you, but you ain't delusional. Like, man. A little crazy, but not BJ a little crazy, but not. No, he's expressive, but not delusional. Yeah. The girl from Aries. What is her name, man? I can't even think of it. She just lost. I keep wanting to say it ends in like a VICH. It's like one of those names. I'm not trying to look it up right now. I'm trying to see if I can remember it. Petrovic. There you go. Petrovic. Ivana Petrovic, right? Is that it? Ivana Petrovic? Yeah, she lost. That was kind of a premature. What's her name? Gabriela Fernandez? Gabriela Fernandez. And the other Souza girl. No. Ketlin Souza just got her leg broke by Karine Silva. I mean, other than that, easy. I think they have been bringing in some good fighters. But there's a couple that I think they jump on board a little too quick. Even said sorry, I said Yan, wrong name. I can't remember the name of the Chinese fighter. Chinese fighter, Yan Zhanan. What he said? Hold up. He said, but in a sense of skill, I think Yan's skill, pound for pound, is just phenomenal. She reminds me of a female Jet Li. Yeah, I enjoy her kickboxing. Yan Zhanan, I like her kickboxing. I like her style. I hate when she gets taken down. High Five said, keep doubting the known, but she keeps winning. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, hey, you keep on winning. Keep showing your skills. That's what it's about to me. You keep on winning. Because when you lose, ain't nobody gonna be there for you. So I say, forget what the fans say for the most part. Fans don't want to give you credit. I'll be like, yo, hey, I got to win. Be like, yo, I got to win. That's all that matters. Yeah, I'm kind of jumping around here. So yeah, I talked a little bit about Rose, and like I said with Rose, I think that her thing is more mental again. She's got to be on that. She's got to be that fighter that wants to kind of be a little humble and take a couple of fights before you jump right back and would jump into a new division, because it just don't work out that way. You got to look at the lay of the land, what type of fighters are in this division, like what are the girls mostly doing here? Like at 115, you got a lot of quick strikers, but up here you got more like physical girls, clinchers and grapplers and wrestlers, So I think that's something Rose got to take a couple of fights, lesser fights, and then get up top, then try for the top, Easy said Valentina still wants to have a known fight too. Grasso ain't getting no rematch. Well, hey, now that we bring that up, what's up, man? Like they done passed it. They done passed out a new belt for Grasso, and the fight ain't even happened yet. I had to talk about that a little bit. Like, yeah, like how do y'all feel about that? Like, what are y'all thoughts on that? They created a new belt for Grasso, and she didn't even win the fight yet. That's kind of a jinx, ain't it? What we gonna do, man? Like, 6 I can see, touching the belt, but she ain't holding it for long. I don't think right now anybody really holds it that long, honestly. I think all the girls up here are like championship material now. Like they can touch the belt. Like I've seen fighters of all kinds, actually have enough skills to get a belt, but the difference is keeping the belt, right? So yeah, I think between Aaron, maybe if Tyler gets back into some type of, good man, like Tyler just needs to really find a camp that's going to help polish her up. Tyler Santos, I think she could touch it at one point too. But yeah, I think Easy says a little premature. He said I think UFC showing a little doubt in Val. That might fuel her up more. Yeah, I think that's going to really get her going, man. I think Valentina, she ain't gonna be pissed, but she already said she's ready to destroy. She already said she's ready to destroy Grasso, and I like that talk, man. So I don't know, man. Like, so does Valentina get the belt though? If Grasso loses, will they give it to Valentina? Because Dana was like, "Oh, this is the belt specifically made for Grasso," and I'm like, "Oh, what if she loses? Like, is this a participation belt? Like, why are we gonna do this? No, like, why can't we wait till the fight's over, then just keep this thing behind the scenes, just in case if she lose, they can put that belt on the shelf." BJ said, "Who Aaron gonna piece up next?" I think between Manon and Aaron, I think somebody needs to get the winner of the fight and the loser of the fight. So Aaron can fight the loser of Grasso, Shevchenko. She can fight the winner, however the UFC sees fit, man. I think Aaron's got some things to tighten up on, though. Like, I agree. I was talking to Marcus. I think Marcus Bell said the same thing, talking to him about it. And I think, Aaron, to me, there's really no rush for her, even though she's got a good win streak too and a good legit win. I think she could maybe knock out another win just to kind of tighten up on some things that could get to be a problem, especially against strikers like Val and Grasso. It could be an issue. Like the hands could be an issue. Because I'm just looking at, Aaron, her nose too, like the bridge of her nose. The better the striker, the more that bridge of the nose looks tempting to hit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think the belt situation, I'm just like, whoa, man, like what's up here? Like, when y'all come up with y'all done said Grasso won the fight? Y'all got the script already out? But that might just amp Val up, man. Let's go amp her up. She said, I get my belt back, plus I get this new fashion multicolored belt here, right? Gabby said, I don't think it was the UFC that created that belt. It was a company, MX, that offered and made that belt for Grasso. Okay, they made it for her. I think they should have kept that thing unannounced. Either way, I think they should have kept that thing unannounced, because it's just like, keep that, as a surprise for the fight night. If she wins, there's really no reward in it or no value in it if you lose. Hang on, I'm just kind of skimming here. GAP said they made one for Yair too, and then he lost the vote. Yeah, I remember they made that. Nah, there was a lot of people thinking Yair was going to win too. I said, nah, I think Volkanovski got this. I was like, y'all better put that thing on the shelf for the time being. BJ said, all I know is Grasso's coming to fight. She better, man, because Valentina's coming to fight. She better be coming to fight, man. She better be ready. Let's say though, man, what y'all say, man, with Valentina if she wins this fight? Does she stay around, fight a few more fights, and you think she moves up to 135? Because honestly, I think there's some good fights at 125, but with the way bantamweight is looking, I wouldn't mind seeing Valentina move up to 135 and get up in there and bring a little bit more action to the division, man. Meaning Shevchenko Pena rematch. That would be good, man. Shevchenko and Pena, that would be a good rematch for the belt. But who knows, man? Like, if Val gets her belt back, she might want to take on some of these newcomers, go for a second reign. She got 7 wins. Getting 2 or 3 around the next go around, that's definitely not bad. Sink said, do y'all believe those Ronda rumors? Nah, I don't believe them, man. Dana said she making too much money to come back. She ain't coming back. Because he actually addressed it already. He said that, nah, she ain't coming back. You are talking about her coming back to fighting, right? Because that's what I heard the latest. Oh, yeah, I see Teresa Blade out here getting her Muay Thai on. That's good. She's out here working on her striking. That's what I'm saying. You got to get it in, man. Got to get it in. High Five said, I want Grasso to win. She's the most beautiful, humble flyweight champion. Gary Baldwin said, stay at 125. Let bantamweight suffer. He said, let bantamweight suffer. I know, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's always an interesting fight with Pena. But, yeah, there's a lot of good fights that could really solidify or, take Valentina's legacy to the next tier. I mean, she's already at the top, so we have to build another tier for her. Really good names up here. Easy said Val been putting in work at Tiger Muay Thai. I think Val's gonna be more aggressive and press Grasso. Yeah, she could. She just gonna have to be a little bit busier with her hands. Like, don't be overly aggressive because Grasso is a good counter striker. Grasso showed that she can set up the good counters. So I think Val's approach doesn't necessarily need to be more aggressive, but her work rate's got to go up. She's got to get her work rate up. Six said Grasso for the win by submission. I don't think Valentina gets submitted again. I gotta give Valentina's IQ much more credit than that. I don't think she gets submitted again. Because I don't think she's gonna make that same mistake or anything similar to that. BJ said Grasso might KO Val this time. Her striking is timed perfectly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, being overly aggressive in this fight could leave that opportunity open. Like, her finding her chin is definitely there. We know it's there. We know it's there. Okay. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. All right. What do y'all think of this fight? Since BJ's here, Montana De La Rosa versus Stephanie Edgar. I know he wanted to hear my thoughts on it a little bit. Let me see. Montana and Stephanie Edgar are fighting October 7th, about a month from now, at 125. Okay. This fight here is a must win. I think it's a must win more for Montana, but both need to look impressive. Like, right now, neither one of them are near the rankings. Montana, she goes on her little skids here where she's just kind of like, I'm not even saying like losing streak. I'm just saying like the mental skid where she doesn't really execute or perform at a high level. I think Montana has a lot of good things going for her. She's kind of got that Andrea Lee syndrome. And even then, it's a little bit lower than Andrea Lee's because it couldn't even get her higher up in the ranks. I think she has power. She's a good wrestler, but there's something about her where sometimes it just doesn't click enough, you know? So with that being said, man, she is in there with Stephanie Egger, who Stephanie Egger may be a lower level opponent, but Stephanie Egger, she looks to finish too now. She's 8-4, but she goes after it. Like Stephanie Egger, she can submit you. Let me see, all three of her wins in the UFC. Let me see. She got a choke out, an arm bar, and some ground and pound. So she'll take you down. She'll take you down, and she's a judoka. You know, she's got that strength and that quickness, but I don't know. The question is, how would a weight cut be for? Yam Yam said the person who started the Ronda coming back rumor was first started by Nick Pete. He also admitted he made it up to get a reaction. Wow. I think I remember that interview. I think that was an interview where somebody asked me to do a video on it. What's his name? Kareem. I did a video on it and I was like, yo, I don't think she's coming back. This is just, it's shock value. And sure enough, he said it. Just to get a reaction out of people. BJ said Montana by TKO in round 2. I actually thought this fight was going to be at 135. I was about to kind of get a little excited. I said, okay, maybe Montana's trying to make her move up. Maybe she'll fit in better at 135. Like, well, I don't know about fit in better, but maybe, the weight will be better for her or something, I just kind of thought that. But at 125, man, Stephanie Egger, she's about 5'6". She's got some size to her. She's not really like heavy. Maybe she can do what Julia Stoyarenko did. Make some noise, come in here, go for the kill. And that's where I think the fight is going to differ, man. I think Stephanie Egger has more of a kill switch. I know BJ ain't going to disagree with me on that. Stephanie Egger got more of a kill switch than Montana. And that's what she's going to have to look out for. Egger going to be trying to toss her around. Hit an arm toss. Okay. Hit an arm toss. If she gets her down, might catch her in that same position like Suarez had her. Robot Chicken said, who you got, Tracy or Jazzy? I'm going to go with Tracy Cortez. I think Jasmine's style plays more into Tracy Cortez, is where Tracy's going to be either stronger or just as strong, but I think she has the ability to keep her at bay. That's the problem with Jazzy. Jazzy keeps on coming. Jazzy's strong. Like, Jazzy has a really good chin, but I think that Tracy can handle the fire, and I think she can stay busy enough, even on the ground. Like, she has a good top control position. Like, Tracy Cortez gets you down, she can neutralize you. With that, I don't know if it's going to be an exciting fight. I just know Tracy Cortez has the ability to win. But then again, Jazzy does too. If Jazzy can walk her down and put some pressure, and Jazzy look like she's been working on her jab too. But I give the edge to more experience here in the UFC, Tracy Cortez. She's been out for a while too, though, man. Montana is better everywhere, in my opinion. Robot Chicken said Edgar will try to bully her. Montana is better everywhere. I think she's better in the stand-up. But like I said, I don't know, man. Like, if she's gonna be able to keep Edgar back. Edgar's gonna be looking to take her out. Tracy and Jazzy's a good matchup. You can go either way, but I'm leaning towards Tracy for the win. Yeah, I think you can go either way, but yeah, I'm going Tracy. Close from say I got Tracy, but Jasmine is big, so it's going to be interesting on the ground. And the fact you can't really stop the girl from coming, like Natalia Silva rocked her and I believe knocked her down. But Jazzy got right back up, man. Like Jazzy's like a tree, man. Like she's a big girl for the division. I think Jazzy's probably like one of the biggest in the division, right? Who's the biggest flyweight? I think her and Montana are like the biggest flyweights, right? No, no. Well, see. Well, Um, who's bigger, Manon and Tyler? Are they bigger than Jazzy? Yeah, yeah. Because we said Manon. Yeah, Manon. I think Manon and Tyler. They're the biggest. Jazzy look huge though for some reason, man. Like maybe it's just her approach to how she fights. Let me see. BJ said he got Jazzy. Six said he got Tracy. Okay, yeah, Jazzy, Montana, Macy, Manon. I think Tyler's bigger than Macy though, right? I don't think Macy's the biggest. I don't know if Macy's like one of the biggest. I don't think she's one of the biggest though. Yeah, I agree, Robot. Robot said Montana should train with killers that push her to the next level. She has heart. It's time to leave her old gym. Yeah. Closer said, how do you think Kareem versus Miranda would go? That's a good fight. Um, I think with Miranda's chin and her durability, I think she'd be hard to stop though, man. I ain't gonna lie. I think that would be a hard one. I think the submission would come later in the fight. I think Miranda's defensive skills when it comes to her jiu-jitsu is pretty good. But I think right now, with the way Kareem Silva's fighting, I would have to give her the edge, man. Like I think Kareem would probably get the edge in that fight, but I think the submission would come in a little. If it comes, I think it would be maybe like in round 3 in that fight. But it could be her first win by decision. I think Miranda would have to make sure she's on her striking game, man. Because Kareem, her striking game is getting better. Couldn't believe she dropped Marina Moreau like that, man. I didn't see that coming, man. Six said Holly versus Manon would be like a mirror match. No, not really. I think Manon's a little bit. I won't say a little bit. I think she's a little bit more. Like, hold on, I'm plugging my phone in. I think she's shown more skills than Holly, in my opinion. Yum said it's insane the amount of female talent that is there is not just in UFC but martial arts in general. They're growing rapidly now. It's perfect time to be a women's MMA fan. Yeah, there's a lot of good talent. I mean, girls coming from jiu-jitsu, uh, PFL. You know, PFL is not necessarily like the UFC level, but I can rock with it. I think Invicta comes back next month. Invicta FC. Gabby said Jazzy's 34 sign for her to rack up some wins and make a run for it. Yeah, I think she is too. That's why she's trying to fight as much as possible. You know, the older girls. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to move a little bit faster. I think Jazzy's trying to get herself into that mix. If she's gonna pull off this win, then she's gonna be the one to, I think, continue to stay active. Like if Jazzy wins this fight, you might see her fighting Jennifer Maia or somebody next. James said he got home over Manon, but they won't fight. No, I like Holly, but I would go Manon in that fight. I would go with Manon in that fight. I think she's shown more levels. Um, she's not predictable. people think she is, but I think Holly's a little bit more predictable with those same combinations. Because if Manon was that predictable, I think she would already taken a couple L's and she still hasn't lost. Right? You know, Holly, she's fun to watch too. You know, she's strong, but she doesn't really make like adjustments in fights. You know, she don't really make a lot of adjustments. Like she throws that same combination. Like there's certain punches that Manon uses a lot, but how come nobody's figured it out? How come nobody's figured it out? See, in the other case, Holly, you can kind of neutralize that striking. You know, Caitlin Vieira, close fight, but she won it. You want to go all the way back to Valentina? You know, Valentina used her timing to beat her. Amanda Nunes, like when Amanda didn't really like give her that straight up target and was just kind of using those little feints on Holly. Holly wasn't able to let it go. Oh, now this is a question, James. Now he said, "Who did Manon beat?" Oh, here we go. Now, here I knew you. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. I knew the minute you say that somebody's gonna say she ain't beat nobody yet. Well, she's still a contender, but she fought all the fighters that she needed to fight, right? You make it sound like she's been in this division for a long time, and like she's already supposed to be fighting all these. Like she has the belt. No, I'm waiting because I know that delusion is coming. Like I said, out of the 6 fights she's fought, how come nobody's figured it out? You know, Holly's fought lower level fighters that figured her out in her division now, right? On top of that, she's won the belt, but since then, she's taken L's against the elite fighters, and she still hasn't changed up her style, right? So how can you say How can you say Holly's not predictable whenever she still hasn't racked? Are you looking at her? Are you looking at her resume, James? How can you say she's not predictable when you've seen the resume? Go look at the resume right now, James. That's what you needed. You just said Holly is not predictable. Go look at that resume. Go look at her resume right now. I like Holly a lot. Like I do from boxing and kickboxing, but be honest. Like there's some changes that need to be made in there. But no must have done something right because she did still beat Rose, right? And she beat Caitlin Chikagian. That's what I'm saying. Like, mm, 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 mm. And how are you going to question her resume now? As a contender, she beat all the levels that she needed to beat. How are you going to question her resume now and say that she's not making changes when she's won all her fights in different ways? See, that's the thing. Like, you want to say, I don't even know how to put this. I don't even want to put this because it's delusion. You really can't. You really can't. You really can't. Um, you can't really converse with delusion, man. Because you gonna knock her resume now as a contender. What was that question you asked Yeah, man? Hold on. He said, "Have you done martial arts before? I was never a fighter and never had a fight and wouldn't want to. I trained Aikido for 7 years, Kung Fu for 11 and a half. Boxing for 6 years. Okay. Yeah, boxing. That's my background. Boxing, long time. Not professional, but yeah. I want to do. I'm gonna try BJJ. I want to give that a try. BJJ is the next level I want to try. And you know what? I'm the same way you are, man. Like, I like martial arts and do them, but I don't want to actually be in a fight. It's all just self defense. Like, nobody really wants to be in a fight, and people that learn it, they want to learn it because they want to be able to defend themselves and in a situation quick, especially like out in the open in the streets and wherever you are. That's the whole purpose of learning self defense, in my opinion. Is to end it quick. Because the majority of the time, the person you fight on the street, there's just a lot of hot air, and you hit them one time and they're gonna quit. Of course, martial arts is for competition. I would rather do it for competition, but like out just in a street fight or whatever, nobody wants to be in that situation. Nobody ever wants to be in that because you don't know the person you fighting might have a gun or a knife. That's but like I said, if it's a different situation where somebody's just in your space, use it as a self-defense to shut that person up or just end it. Victor said all fighters in contention for championship, they really don't want to fight anyone to lose. Then they're out of contention in championship fight. Oh, okay. Not 11 and a half years. Oh, I thought it said 11 and a half. Oh, 1.5. I was about to say, you got to have a black belt, man. You joking me? I was like, you out here with a black belt or something. You out here with Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do or something. 11 and a half years. Okay, 1.5. Okay. But yeah, boxing, that's my main thing for over 20 years. Over 20 years. I mean, I loved it since I was a younger kid, but I found a different love for it my 20s. Over 30 years. But yeah, I was thinking about doing like just the amateurs again, just like competition for older men. But I'm like, I don't want to risk getting a concussion now. There's an over 30, over 40 league. Gabby said, do you think Loopy finishes Reed next week? Oh man. I like Elise Reed too. I think Loopy's like on a couple of levels above her, man. I think her offense and her wrestling might be a problem. I don't know. Loopy don't wrestle as much though. If you give if you give Reed some space, she can land some good strikes, but I don't think she jabs enough. She'll throw some head kicks here and there, but right hand is okay. I like her right hand, but I think with her lack of a strong ground game, I'm gonna go with Loopy, possibly by finish. Yeah, me say I have no belts. I got some medals in running now. I run now. Ain't gotta worry about getting knocked out and running. I'm a runner now, so for sure runner. Won me a couple, 5Ks and first place medals and that, but ain't gonna be fighting professional anytime soon. Gabby said thoughts on Newton's new matchup. Mark McMahon. It's hard to say like Mark McMahon's gonna like be a tough fight for. I know she has some pretty good wrestling. What I've seen on her older fights, she's strong. She can be a dog. But I saw that fight with Bruno Brazil, her lack of defense against a striker, man. She got knocked out. She fought Amber Brown last. That was a competitive fight. But I think that Newton is physically stronger, and I think she's a quicker and better striker, man. Like I think Newton could get the finish in this fight, honestly. Really, I didn't think Martin Man was ready to be signed yet. I thought she might have been in it, did a few more fights in LFA. That would have been cool. if she would have did a few more fights in LFA and maybe Invicta. Like I think she's good now. You know, for her level. Like from what I've seen, she's got a dog in her. But I think Knudsen is higher level, physically stronger, good tie clinch. You know, I think she's gonna. I think this is gonna be the finish that she wanted in the Contender Series, or that she wanted to score. Could be another head kick too. Easy said I do martial arts for self-defense only. I was also in the army, so I'm trying to kill, to be honest. Dang. Easy said only self-defense. I was also in the army, so I'm trying to kill, to be honest. Dang, man. Well, you know what? That's the mindset. I mean, of self-defense, honestly. Again, you know, I'm just being real. Like, that is a big part of self-defense. Like, self-defense, don't really want to use it, and you have to. Much like a firearm. Don't really want to use it unless you got to, you know, do what you got to do with it. And at 40, I don't want to fight, man. I don't want to fight, man. I don't feel like fighting. Not saying I won't, but I don't pick fights, man. I hate that feeling of it. Just because I hate it don't mean I want to do it, though. Newsom will clinch abuse, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I love combat sports, but like you said, I don't want to fight anyone. I don't want trouble with anyone, but I'll defend my space, my loved ones. But in general, I don't want the trouble with anyone. Pretty much, yeah. I'd rather watch it from the safety of my couch. When that cage door shuts, or they get in the boxing ring. Hey, we got 2 consenting adults signed up to fight each other. I'm all for that. Close to all the good fights when that card got canceled. We lost Loopy, Sam, and Lucindo and Newton. Yeah. I think that was a blessing for Newton, though. I don't think Newton needed to be in there with Lucindo. I think Josephine Newton got a better opponent. Well, no, you know what I mean. Like, not better, because I think Yasmin Lucindo was a better opponent. She's more dangerous. All right, she's dangerous, but at least she's got a fighter that's making her debut like her. Yeah, Tank Abbott, I remember him. Loses game, but she's fun to watch. Yeah, she's gonna be fun to watch. Yeah, for sure. Lucindo should have trained hard but smart. Now we're gonna see a mismatch. I'm kind of glad that she didn't take that, or that fight didn't go through for, because, you know, yeah, Lucindo is a beast, man. Zombies, I think Newton would have put up a good fight against Lucindo. Yeah, I think she would put up a good fight too, but man, it's a dangerous way to bring her into the game. They did that to Teresa Blader with Natalia Silva. I know that was just a style matchup thing, but man. Yeah, Lupi's fight got canceled. The original fight. No, Lupi's on there, Sage. Lupi's fighting Elise Reed now. Yeah, in Thailand 6, he said that they breed fighters straight out the womb. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. They breed fighters out the womb, man. Like, I was just looking at some footage of those kids already throwing down. Shoot. Who's next for Ricci? Where's Ricci ranked right now? I would have said Michelle Waterson, but she's fighting Marina again, so no. Ooh, I think her and Pinheiro would have been a good fight. Tabitha Ricci, and I guess when Sam Hughes' injury comes back, that would be a good fight. Ooh, Lucindo and Sam. How do you see that fight going? I don't see it going the distance. If it does go the distance, you're gonna know they've been in a fight. I'm gonna just say that. He must be old because that. Closer said Lucindo versus Jillian Robertson. Ooh, can Jillian submit her, or would Jillian get knocked out? What's good, Ernest Richardson? Says I want to see Loma Labuni fight again this year. She reminds me of a pre-fight, pre-UFC Whaley. Ooh, Tabitha Ricci versus Loma Labuni. That's a good fight. All right, yeah, man. What about ONE FC? Do you watch it? ONE FC, yeah, man. ONE FC is good. Their Muay Thai fights are brutal too. I like that one girl. What's her name? The other Fairtex, blonde hair girl. Was it Supergirl? Not Stan Fairtex. Not Stan Fairtex. There's another Fairtex with blonde hair. Cause Stamp, she's one of my favorites to watch. Yeah. Yeah, Stamp has always been entertaining for me. Smila Fairtex. Yeah, Supergirl. Yes. Yeah, Smila Fairtex. She's like 16 or 17. She's a Muay Thai champion. Yeah, she's one I like to watch. Yeah, Supergirl's another one I like to watch. Stamp's fun to watch. Jillian versus Yasmin Haurigi. That'd be a good fight. Gary said Jillian gets submitted. Oh, submitted by Lucindo. Dang. Colosum said Loma starches baby shark. She'll kick her across the cage. Yeah, that's the fight she needs though. Tabitha Ricci needs that type of fight. Oh, Marcus said, yo, are you talking about that girl who beat up Jackie Boonton? Wait a minute. Jackie Boonton. Let me see. I think that's the one. Not the one girl that was getting beat up though. Like one of them, she almost looked like she's kind of about to cry in the fight. Like not her, because I hated this. Because there was a fight that was real close. It was Supergirl and Barbie. That fight was close. It was kind of a controversial decision. Elisa Mexon, I like Elisa Mexon too. I really wanted that fight, 2-6. I wanted that fight. I had the night prepared to call that fight. Everything, man. It kind of pissed me off when that fight didn't happen. And now I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Yeah, said MMA is way better than boxing. Do like 90s boxing and previous, but MMA is way more all-around fighter. MMA has less politics. MMA is the best fight, the best. Also, MMA rankings make sense. Yeah, I can't argue with you there, man. Like I love the sport, but like the business of boxing has been kind of bad. I love the sport of it, but yeah, they as of lately, like I can really, if I have a boxing channel, I can rarely come with the topics on it, man. Like because they just, as of lately, they've been making more fights, but I just don't. I don't understand what they got going on sometimes. A lot of belts, a lot of politics. It's crazy. Yeah. Smila Sundell, which she has her name on Instagram is Smila Fairtex. That's why I call her Smila Fairtex. Smila Fairtex, she beat Jackie Bonton. Okay. Yeah, I don't like Tyson Fury either, but I mean, I give the guy credit as a boxer, but I don't like. I thought I think Usyk lost last week. I thought Usyk got knocked out with a body shot. Yeah, I don't understand why that fight got canceled. Man, I was hoping that they would reschedule it, but they didn't. Oh, Diakova. I see some of these fights. Like I don't get a chance to watch them, but there's a site that be posting some of these things up. I have to go back and look at this one. He said sick fight, great footwork combos from Diakova, and a lot of pressure from the English fighter. Let me see. What was that? The Italia. Oh, Hannah Brady. The Muay Thai fight. Hannah Brady. Yeah. I saw that face off. I'm gonna go back and pull this one up. Hannah Brady and Natalia Diakova. Gabby said, which WMMA fighter would you like to see compete in the UFC? Anyone from Bellator or ONE FC or PFL? I like to see Jenna Bishop from Bellator. From ONE FC, from ONE FC, I'm not sure, but like eventually from PFL, I like to see Dakota DeChiva once she's reached a certain level, or if she ever wins like a PFL flyweight belt, I like to see Dakota DeChiva. But yeah, her, and I like to see Jenna Bishop at some point from Bellator. Like, Sage said thoughts on Gomez versus Hill. Gomes versus Hill. I got Gomes winning if Hill's stationary, but if Hill's moving around, I think she could win. But if Gomes goes in there and hurts her, knocks her out, she could be out of there. Yeah, I mean, so there's one martial art I love to try, Wing Chun, but I suffer from prone permanent nerve and disc damage in my back, and so I had to stop. Oh yeah, I had somebody show me a little bit of that Wing Chun and apply it to boxing about 8 or 9 years ago, and man, you find out how to use that power, different places you never really felt you would actually generate power. Oh, Zhang Zidong fight Andrade. Ooh, that would be crazy. At first, I thought Dubois hit Usyk with a low blow. Usyk's belt line looks high. Yeah, because the punch was kind of slanted, so the knuckles went right into his stomach. Like same how Usyk got hit like that before, and he tried to claim low blow, same type of punch too. So I was like, this dude just he don't take body punches very well. Gabby said, I think Dakota Chi is already on way to win the PFL flyweight championship. Oh yeah, Soy Ham and Stamp Fairtex that's coming up at the end of the month. Yeah, I'm gonna try to jump on for that. What's your prediction on Chris versus Cat? I thought this never happened because it's been talks for years. I got Chris Cyborg winning, probably by like a stoppage in round 2, maybe 1. Cat's got to really be ready. I mean, she's got to really be strong and put a lot of pressure on. because Chris ain't gonna win like a distance fight. No. Cat's not gonna win a distance fight here. I don't think Cat's gonna win like any type of distance match. Like her best bet, I think, is on inside, maybe some clinch, knees to the body, takedown, if she can get Chris down. But I see Chris hurting her with those stiff boxing punches she's been really, evolving in. 6 of that stand fight, if she wins, makes her a 3-sport champion. That's pretty good accomplishment to have on your belt. Yeah, 6 can do this, man. She's 6. You got Cyborg. Yeah, I got Cyborg in this one. And I ain't like I'm dislike Cat. I mean, if Cat pulls something off, I'd be happy for her, because that'd be crazy. That would be. They get a chance to capture that belt in the UFC. Go to Bellator, beat one of the most dangerous fighters. Yeah. Do you think Kayla Harrison's overrated because she's beating people she's supposed to beat? And she's called Cyborg out for years. I think she used Chris's name to build her name, her brand. Also think Kayla will only fight Chris as she gets older, not in her prime. Yeah, I think she would age her out. But I think Kayla has a lot of potential to be better than what we see her as. Honestly, I think she's strong, fast, and she does go for the kill, but I think they did overrate her a little bit more. Like when they started bringing her name up against Chris and Nunes, I was like, oh no, come on now. Come on. Putting her up there with like Valentina and those girls that work hard for years. I'm like, nah, come on now. Like she would have to do what Chris did or jump over to the UFC if they had a division for her, build up her legacy like that, capture a bunch of belts like Chris did to be on that level. Robot Chicken said, "Game bread, bare knuckle is entertaining. Does JDS box? Does he box Wordham tonight?" Pacheco has a good chance against Cyborg. Both are similar. Yeah, she's got a good right hand, man. And she's been getting better, with her activity on the ground, getting stronger. Oh, TJ, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna say in the sense of the best, like Amanda and Valentina. Yeah. She's not up there with those girls. Gabby said Pacheco keeps beating up the same person. Yeah, that's one thing. Like, it's gonna be hard for her to like really evolve, which she has. But how many times did she fight Kolesnik? 3 times now. All 3 first round knockouts. I mean, this last one, Kolesnik didn't even like TJ one right hand and she went down, man. She didn't even try in this fight. At least the other couple of fights, she was swinging until she got knocked out. But this one here, as soon as she tasted the power, she was done. Angela Hill's going to get it done. We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see if her movement it can still be an issue. But if not, she might get hurt. All right. So I'm about to jump off here now. I've been on here about an hour and a half. I'm hungry. Yeah, I am hungry. So yeah, let me get up off of here. I might jump on tomorrow. We ain't got no fights tomorrow. So who knows? We really don't, do we? No, we ain't got no fights. Ooh, that's the fight I want to see. Colostrum said Mahatnika versus Pacheco. I think Marina's chances are good, man. Like if she takes it to the ground, I think her chances are good. Like she's strong. Her hands are getting better too. I don't know if she'll like be able to stand with Pacheco for long, but if she can adapt and get it to the ground, yeah, I like her chances on the ground. But that's a good fight. I think that'll be Pacheco's biggest competitor after Kayla Harrison. Yeah. Yeah, see at the hospital. Angela Hill. Oh, Angela Hill, man, she stays in great shape. She stays in great shape. Blada is fighting. When is the Teresa Blada fight? Let me see. She's out there in the Muay Thai gym training. That's good. No, no dates lined up for her yet. Let me see. Did Marina lose to Liana Jojua? Did she? Let's see. Let's pull up the resume. Yep, she did. She lost to her and Janae Harding about 5 years ago. And hey, you see things change though. Fighters, one might go this way, another might go that way though. I think Marina's gotten better, whereas Liana Jojua has kind of hit a plateau. No, she did. The Marina I'm talking about, she did lose to Joju about 5 years ago. They fought at bantamweight. They fought at bantamweight. Blada Petrovic should be next. Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Yeah, I got Gomes over Hill too, I think, at this point. Angela Hill Waterson rematch. Yeah, I thought Angela Hill won that first time. I did a breakdown. I thought how I saw it go. There were some close rounds. I thought Angela Hill did enough to win. Marina beat Karine too. Yeah, they got history around the block here. Karine Silva. Dang, she kneebarred Karine Silva back in 2017. These girls got history around the way, man. Kneebar Karine Silva. And they go different directions now. You see she's at 145, whereas Karine's at 125. So you never know, like at the time when they take these fights, their weights could be off. When you first get into the MMA, you're gonna just take whatever fight. So I think that the higher they get, they find the weight that's more comfortable for them. So, not making an excuse, I'm just saying, like when Karine fought Marina, it's probably at a weight where she wasn't as comfortable, or just getting accustomed to their body. Let's see. Yeah, Karine was fighting at bantamweight. Karine was fighting at bantamweight early in her career. Probably couldn't really handle it. Okay, yeah, TJ said he recalled it was a sloppy fight. Yeah, back in the day, yeah. When she's gotten better, so. You said, yeah, Marina Karine, yeah. Zama said, I like how Kolesnik was dissing Motnikin, said that their semifinal was real, final of the tournament, and quit like a complete wow. Yeah, how's she gonna diss Mahotnik like that, man? Like when she's getting better, and I know she won't fall like Pacheco did. No, and she won't fall like Kolesnik did. I know Mahotnik is not gonna fall off like that. Like she's not gonna get knocked out like that. Zama said Joju is better than Silva. Ooh, wow. Why is she not here in the UFC, man? Oh yeah, Shavkat's sister, yeah. Alex Pieda's sister fights, I believe, next month in LFA. You know, his sister's been doing her thing. A lot of people think Angela Hill's a sore loser. I don't think she's a sore loser. I just think she's been robbed a few times. Yeah, she's been robbed a few times. I don't think the Lemos fight was a robbery, but yeah, I'm definitely going to say Angela Hill has been robbed a number of times. I think the Waterson fight could have went her way. There's been a few other fights too. There's been a few other fights where I say Hill did win. But on that note, y'all, shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Good conversation. Even whenever James come with that delusion, sometime I enjoy it. Burns versus Shavkat, who would win? Oh man, at this point of their career, I would go with Shavkat, man. I like Burns, but I think at this point, I think Shavkat would win. Just seems a little bit more patient. Powers, you know, the way he delivers his shots. Beat my man. Wow, yeah, I think he's just too much right now for him. I think he's durable too. But yeah, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I appreciate that 2-pound spot from Yam Yams earlier, man. And yeah, as long as y'all come through, I'll keep on talking some WMMA. But on that note, I'm Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.